Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to kind of come to you and share our story with you and let you get to know us a little bit better and just tell you like where we came from and what led us to living off grid and to officially introduce my husband Marcus.
Hey, you guys.
And so he's more behind the scenes, and so I wanted to bring him on today, and so he could share with you our story. So I don't know if you want what you want to say, but I think it was about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, he was working on military base. He was there about 15 years, and he just got burnt out with that. He was, I didn't know if you want to expound on that, but
Well, it's just pretty much came from here. All started from here is when you feel like you've gotten everything pretty much that you desire to have. I ain't gonna say every single thing. Sometimes when you get a lot of things that you want, you realize after you got them and how much debt and how many bills you got.
yeah, how much it really doesn't matter.
How much it costs now, and a lot of times we don't realize how much our income is shortened because of it. And everything that you see here, everything that we have here, I guess through the other videos my wife has shown you the property and some of the areas. It all was pretty much just a brainstorm between me and her back then. We had the big house, decent sized house. I put it that way. We had the
Cars,
cars,
the
and
toys.
we had the swimming pool. And I'm not saying we were well off. I'm saying that we had a lot of things that we desired to get and at that time. And with that being the case, we struggled. We struggled financially. We struggled to pay for a lot of those things. We struggled, and it's nobody's fault but our own, really, for allowing that to happen. But at the same time, we realized some things, being in that predicament, that we really wanted to be financially free. We really didn't, and not only that, but we was in a subdivision that was pretty much
It was growing.
was growing. It was a half done subdivision when we moved in it. In other words, a lot of the houses that was there was when they stopped building in 2008. Is when the market went down. I guess the housing market back then, and they didn't finish building around the area. So we was like in a unfinished subdivision.
Which was nice.
This was very nice.
We liked it.
Yeah.
It was kind of secluded. It was in a semi-rural area, and then things started picking up, and some years later, and they started building, and it was just completely not what we wanted.
Well, I put it this way: the moment they started building and new people started moving in is when the area started changing a lot for us. And it wasn't for the good. It was really going down very fast, and we already desired to be somewhere where we didn't feel like we so crowded, because the land that we had was only 0.3, was it 0.34 of an acre? It wasn't even an acre.
Yeah.
So the houses right beside each other was only, what, 16 feet? Was it 16 feet?
I don't know, but it was.
I think it was
know.
16 feet, or yeah, about 16 feet apart, spaced out. And that's how far you were from the next house beside you. It was not a long distance at all. And it just became to where we felt like people were just on top of us, you know? And we just really desired our own space. And I think my wife made a comment years ago and said she wanted to be where the squirrels and the
I wanted my neighbors to be squirrels and deer. And we looked and looked for a house at that time, and just nothing opened up. And so we just quit looking, and the Lord just had us wait. He
Yes.
specifically told us to wait, and we were just in a waiting time, and things just got just just things just got to be too much. And so my husband, I was saying a while ago, he got burnt out with where he was, his career at the moment,
Yeah.
at that time. And he wanted a change, and he really wanted his own business. And so he pursued that, and he did really well. He was top Amazon bestseller in handmade items, and he did really well to where he left his job. And so he did that, and he just got to be too busy that we did not have the manpower to keep it up. And
Yeah.
so he applied for a completely different career, and which was the railroad,
Mm-hmm.
and they called him like the very next morning. They reached out, and then his new career started,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what brought us to the idea of selling our house and getting a RV. And at the time, we had no clue what we were going to do, the future. We just knew what the Lord laid on our hearts to do, and we finally took that step, and we said we're going to sell the house. And we did all of that. We left everything behind, and we
Yeah.
just kind of followed him a little bit. I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't go very far, but we
Mm-hmm.
just went with him everywhere his job took him. And then after that, well, during that time, we were wanting to move here to Tennessee, but we just kept asking the Lord whatever His will was. We just wanted to be in the will of God. And so at that moment, it was really difficult to get
Very, very
a
difficult
job
because,
in this state.
well, the job at the time, it was nothing available to be in. The closest job to where we at now is in Chattanooga. That's an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes away, and it wasn't nothing available at the moment. But you know what? I didn't give up. I kept trying, and finally, um, a person that had originally won the job that I had bidded. It's a bidding system that you bid into jobs on the railroad, and whoever's got the most seniority, this is how it goes. Whoever's got the most seniority wins that job. And it was a person that had seniority over me, and this job came available in Chattanooga, and she won the job. And when she won the job, I guess at the moment she realized that she wasn't ready to move. She had changed her mind about the position in Chattanooga. So she, on her own, I didn't ask her anything, on her own, she went and retracted her bid and gave the job to me. I just thank God for that. That was nothing but the Lord right
Yeah,
there. But anyway, she retracted her bid, and I was the next person in line with seniority to win the job. So when she retracted her bid, the job became mine. And that pretty much moved us here because it was a permanent position.
yeah.
And we went and we stayed at a RV park
For almost a year.
almost a year, and a nice RV park. And we went looking for property. We had saved up money, and
We looked and
we
looked.
looked and looked and looked, and we got discouraged because everything we looked at either was cost too much, or it wasn't a place where we could build a house. It was just land that was
It was like
going downhill.
very, yeah, because mountains, of course, is everywhere.
Hmm.
But yeah, we just looked and looked, and that's when the Lord told us to wait again,
Hmm.
and we stopped looking. It was so hard because it's a habit every day looking online, and so we waited, and finally, come spring, the Lord just spoke so clearly to us.
To go out and look.
Yep. And we went out
Go
and
and
looked.
look. Go and because I've given it to you. Just like almost like he told the children of Israel, go and because I've given you this land, go and claim what's yours, what I've given you. And we did that. And when we did that, we found this place. God had it set aside, and it just opened up so easily and quickly.
Well, and two, I want to say that during that time, before we, while we were looking and while we had to wait, the Lord just kept dealing with our hearts about being off grid and getting a piece of land and just build our life from the ground up. And you have to understand that we don't have the resources to match what God has said.
Yes, yes.
And so all of this time, the Lord is birthing this vision in us that we don't have the resources to accomplish.
Right.
And at the same time, the Lord has said too that I've brought you to this place for more than what you think. And I'm beginning to see more and more that it is Him building our trust in Him and really building our faith in Him and His provision and truly learning what it means to depend on Him.
Right.
And how everything is going to come from Him. And even just up until now, that's exactly what He's been doing. I mean, everything He's been providing for. And I've said this before, that if we're ever in need, it's not for long, because He always opens a door. But I was just wanted to go back and say, these bees are...
Yeah, they flying all close to me. I want to add this part too, is to really go in a little bit of detail of why we wanted to live here and why we have what we have compared to the house we had. The bills we had in that house were ridiculously high, and I would say it that way because they were high. And we just, our light bill was $600 a month in the summer, and
Water bill
was $200, and our light bill still in the winter was still what, $400 or $500, or maybe $300. It still was high, and we wanted to be somewhere. I put it this way too. Let me back up. Also, I'm not knocking anyone that has a power bill right now. Don't get me wrong. That's the choice that you want. That's the choice you want. That's fine. I have nothing against paying the power bill. I want to say that first and foremost. But my thing is about power companies is that a lot of them take what God has given us free. A lot of them, they got solar farms and solar places and land they buy from people that are full of panels. And they use that, they turn around and get that power and sell it to us.
Yeah.
And they monopolize on a lot of us too, because if you don't pay them, they're gonna turn you off. And it's no...
We really just wanted to be
It's
more
no-
in control.
Yeah, I don't want to go expand too much on that, but I will say that it's pretty much them in control to a certain extent with their service. With their service, I say it like that.
Yeah.
What we have in that sky, and this is how I look at it, it's just how I look at it, it's free.
Yeah.
It's free to all. And we can have that with the right equipment.
Yeah.
We can have that free coming in with the right equipment. And it's just really God, I guess the Lord put that in my heart, that it doesn't cost a penny for that.
Yeah.
And I can have that without charge and without price.
Right.
Other than me just buying the stuff that I can get to receive that power with. Without charge and without price. That's what I kept hearing in my head. Without charge and without price.
Yeah.
I've given it to you. It's yours. It's free.
So,
go ahead.
yeah, well, it just goes along with what you were just saying is we just wanted to be more in control
That's really it.
of our life, you know, and to be more self-sufficient. And you know, we're learning all this as we go. This isn't something we knew.
And it's not, at times it's not easy. I'm going to say, I don't want to make it sound like there's no challenges. There are challenges,
Yeah,
you know.
there's definitely challenges.
Even with the solar thing, there's still a challenge at times. You know, there's no sunlight. There's no sunlight and our system gets low on battery, I need to pull out our backup power and get it back up. There's been a time that happens. This past week it happened. But still, I thank God that it's something that I can do.
Yeah. It's something
I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something I got control of.
Yeah.
You know, and I could get back going.
Right.
And it's just, you know, it's our water situation too. We have a water tank, and I go every week, every 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, sometime maybe if it lasts that long. And we go to the water treatment plant here in our town, and we go and fill it up with water. And I pay them for so many gallons, and I fill up our tank with it.
Yeah.
So that's how we get water here.
Yeah.
And you know, pretty much we got a person that comes out when our black tank gets full in the camper, and he comes when I call him. He comes and pumps it out.
So basically, we want to be more in control of certain aspects in our life if we are able to. And it, like he was saying, is that there are challenging times in this. This is really a learn as you go. But there's a sense of freedom with this. And I know I sometimes have wanted the power pole. But I just see that even though that's convenient, I just keep remembering like where we came from, and now how we're more free. You know, it's like what he was saying is that we're able to control this. You know, we're able to, I'm losing my train of thought. Jordan just really.
We're able to be the one that really brings in, let me change that. We're able to depend on the Lord to bring in the power that we need. And no, I'm not saying if you're on the grid that it's not the Lord helping you with your bills or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I am saying that I feel like that with solar, I am personally receiving it from God of my own. You know what I mean? Just of our own. I put it that way. It's not. It's not me putting down someone else.
It's more of a personal.
It's a personal thing. That's it.
At this time in our life, you know. Yeah. So that's all it is. Just
I hope I'm explaining it correctly.
Yeah. But so going back during that time of waiting, that's when the Lord started growing our vision, and because like I said in the beginning, we had no clue. Like I know he didn't think of us doing this, but the Lord really started dealing with him more heavy than me.
Ooh.
And
right in my eyeball.
And
yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, as the Lord started growing this vision in him, I began to see it too, and so that's kind of like, you know, why we're here.
A lot of the reason.
Yeah. It's all the Lord. For us, it's all God.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their own reason. Everybody has their own convictions. But for us, it's not just about being self-sufficient and, you know, growing a homestead. And it's not trying to jump on this fad of, because I know that there is a fad out there to do like homesteading and stuff. For us, it's just, we feel like the Lord is just really leading us to really learn how to depend more on him
For everything. Not just this or that. I mean, a few things, but I mean everything in our life. I mean, in order to live, you know, I feel like that's really what we have been led to do. And pretty much when we started this journey, I felt like we were, I think it was Abraham in the Bible
Yep.
that he told him to go.
Yep.
And Abraham had no clue where to go
Where to
or where to
go.
go, what to do.
He just went.
He just went and just trusted the Lord. And I feel like this has been our journey. We just went
Yes.
and trusted the Lord, and this is where we wind it up so far.
Yeah. And that's exactly, you know, I was reading the Bible when we first began this. I started the Bible to read it in a year. And it just so happened that during that time of the Lord dealing with us to sell our house and all of that and to just go, I was actually in that section of Scripture, and the Lord was dealing with me so much about this in the Word. So I guess anyway, to get back on track is we went out looking for land because he said to go, and
We didn't have no clue where.
we were trying to find land close to a church that we knew, and so we were looking and looking, and we kept seeing this place, and I kept scrolling past it, and I don't know why, and then finally, you know, my husband's like, well, let's just go look at it. And so we came out here to look, and
And I'm gonna be honest with you, she did not like it. We almost got into an argument or a dispute about this property at first. She was not having it.
no.
She was not having it.
Because, let me say this, because in my mind, I had a vision of what the land was supposed to look like. And this is not what it was supposed to look like. It can look like this, look like in my head once we get done, but I did have something completely different in mind. And so that's what I had.
It just did not fit what was in her mind. And I kept saying, let's wait. Let's not just cast it down. Look, these things, the house can go here. I just started
He started walking
piecing
me
things
through
together.
And saying, this can go here, this can.
Yes. And
finally,
finally,
I was like,
after a while,
I was
finally,
getting in the car, and I was like, let's just go.
Yep, exactly. She didn't want to hear anything I had to say. She shut completely. You know when a person just shut you out and they don't want to hear no more? That's what she did
That's
to
what
me.
I did. But anyway, I finally started listening. Well, actually, I was, you know, it was the Lord. It was the Lord I started
Had to be.
listening to because
Yep,
I did not want to I didn't want to hear anything he had to say.
yep.
Because I feel like, you know, he's always so more willing to deviate. And I'm just like, it has to be like this, you know, and he's just like, well, no, this could work like this. And so because I know he's like that anyway, which is nothing wrong with it, but I just didn't want to hear what he had to say. So anyway, the Lord started dealing with my heart about, you know, just listen to your husband. Listen to him and see what he has to say. This could possibly work. And so I did. I started listening, and
So far, so good. Things started coming together.
so we
And
closed on the land. We
Yep.
went ahead and put the offer in, and it closed.
And the offer went through,
Yep.
and we were able to get everything that we wanted for us, the property wise, for us financial wise. It was okayed,
Yep.
and we began to clear up the property.
Anyway, that's how we got to where we are, and now our goals are, you know, to work down at the other end of the property to start clearing it out and getting it ready. And our desire is to do everything with as little debt as possible. And so because of that, we know it's going to take a little time. So that's why we've added different living quarters out here for our kids, because we have our son, he's 6'2", and he just cannot fit in the camper bunk area anymore. So he has his area out here, and which also we come out here to have like movies. We watch movies out here. And then my daughter has an area, and everything is just really like just really close in quarters. So we're not spread out. I mean, we obviously have to be close because they all need power just like we do. And so, but she has her tiny home, and this is how we're living out here. And, you know, it's comfortable, and we have everything we need, and we're free.
Yeah.
We're free. And,
Yep.
but yeah, that's our goal. So I didn't know if you want to add anything else.
That's pretty much it. I think we covered every area.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So if you guys have any questions about us, just leave it in the comments and I'll try to get to those. But we're glad that you finally got to meet us, and we hope that you follow us along.
And subscribe to
Yes.
us, because we'll be doing more things to show you around. And I got a lot more things to do up there in the north end of our property. We're going to start building a house up there
Yeah.
and clearing the property. So stick with us.
Yeah. And we hope that if nothing else, when you see our videos, it at least encourages you to trust God with whatever it is that you have going on in your life that you need Him for. That's our goal, is just to hopefully point you to the Lord. So,
Amen to that.
all right. So we'll see you guys on the next video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video.
See you guys.